What's going on, guys? Chris here, and this video is going to take a slightly different turn than normal. I normally don't like going super negative or anything like that on my channel, but today we're talking about the Benchmade Narrows. And the next time somebody comments on one of my videos, oh, that knife's Chinese, or why you buy Chinese, or why do you support Chinese knife companies? This is why. First of all, most of the knives that you have that you probably think were made in the USA probably weren't. They're probably made overseas. But if you're somebody who actually genuinely knows your stuff and only buys American-made knives, I support that. 100% I support that. Granted, everything else in your house and in your pockets was probably made in China. But if you want to overpay for pocket knives, by all means, go for it. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to support USA-made knife companies. Absolutely 100%. I want to support these guys. And if you want to support USA-made knife companies, by all means, go for it. But they sure aren't supporting you. And I don't mean financially supporting you. I'm not saying charge less than what it costs to make. I'm not saying don't make a profit. But to charge $522 for M390 and titanium, that's not supporting their customers. You can't do something like that and say you give a about your customers. You can't. No. Do you know what that is? That's, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Bend over. You. Thanks for your money. Because nothing about these materials justifies the price. Even being made in the USA, it does not justify this price. But what I want to know from you guys, if you were given $522 with the stipulation that it could only be spent on a knife or knives, what would you do with the money? Would you buy the Benchmade Narrows? Or would you buy something else? Or would you buy several other knives? Let me know down in the comments, and whoever has the best comment, in my very subjective opinion, will get a free Benchmade hat, SMKW hat, and a Kaiser hat. But if you truly want to support a USA-made knife company, right now anyways, I'd suggest going with Hogue or Spyderco until Benchmade comes back to their senses. If what you want is M390 and titanium, you can get it for much less. Probably with better QC too, by the way. If what you want is made in America, you can get that for much less. If what you want is to spend $522 for some reason, you could get a lot more for your money somewhere else. At least they could have put it in a gold box and included a certificate of how much you authentically overpaid to make us feel a little bit better about it. Even the Benchmade Gold class are extremely overpriced, but at least you get some cool materials. At least you have a freaking gold-plated floating backspacer, a Damasteel blade, Arctic Storm Fat carbon, and the idea that it's somewhat limited at least makes you feel a little bit better. Now, if you're hoping in this video that I was going to tell you how freaking cool the Benchmade Narrows looks, how freaking thin it is, and how nice it's going to carry in your pocket, how thin and slicey and practical this drop point is going to be, or how cool the anodized titanium pocket clip and thumb studs look with the PVD coated blue sapphire hardware, I'm not going to do that. Or how good the redesigned axis lock works with the torsion spring assembly, I'm not going to do that. Because for $522, this is a dog turd. It's a dog turd. This right here, this is a dog turd. And I'm not going to tell you how much I like dog turds, because that would be weird. Maybe I have some weird dog turd fetish and would be willing to pay $522 for it, which would actually make a little bit more sense, because I don't think most people have a fetish of spending $522 on a ridiculously overpriced knife. So if you're hoping to hear specs and size comparisons and hear all the awesome things about this knife, I'm just not going to do it in this video. Maybe eventually, after I've calmed down a little bit, I'll decide to do that and show you just how thin it is compared to the normal bug out, or how thin the blade is, or how lightweight and incredibly awesome to carry it is, or how easy it is to use one-handed or fidget with, or the fact that it's lefty friendly. Because none of that actually even matters, because it's not a knife that I can recommend to anybody until they drop the price. But it's not going to stop until people collectively have had enough and stop buying their products. And so if you think this is a really cool knife and you've got to have it and it's so cool or whatever, there are so many cool knives out there, and there is nothing about this one that justifies the price.